What's up, everybody? Um, I've been meaning to do this for a long time, but I've been putting it off for a while because I'm good at procrastinating. But I've wanted to create a channel that kind of takes you along my journey, keeps you updated on my app and everything that entails. Because I think this will be the best way to do outreach for it and to get more people to know about it. Um, I'm Newt Thomas. I'm in college right now. I am studying finance, and I built an app called Nuviter, which we'll get into in a little bit. Um, but I kind of want this channel to be a place where I can take people on my journey, keep them updated on the app, uh, and then just kind of showcase things I learned along the way, and especially like with using Christian principles or stuff that I find in the scripture to run the business more effectively, or to be a business owner for the kingdom. And so I've always been passionate with the markets and the financial industry. And that's why I started Nuviter. It's an app where you can track your portfolio, and on the app there are rings for your portfolio risk, performance, and intelligence. The risk looks at how heavy you are in certain sectors and the volatility of those stocks, which can show the risk of your portfolio as a whole. The performance is how well the stocks that you have perform in comparison to the risk that you're taking on. So if you're having really good performance, you're having high quality performing stocks with lower risk. And so the greater return you can get on the lower risk possible, that's good performance. That's a good performing portfolio. Which is why you might have some amazing returns, but you might not have a good portfolio score because you're taking on an insane amount of risk. And then intelligence is a concept from how you can look at the macroeconomy and make decisions in your own portfolio based off of it. And so what I look at is inflation growth and GDP growth. And this is a pretty well-known theory, but you can divide the four cases into quadrants. And when you have quadrants, you can have rising inflation, rising GDP, rising inflation, falling GDP, falling inflation, rising GDP, and falling and falling. And so historically within each of those sectors, there is consistent best performing and worst performing stock industries or sectors, and then there's also best and worst performing like asset classes. And so what that looks at is an algorithm that I made to look at what sectors you're in, the macroeconomy, and how well you are investing into certain sectors based on the macroeconomy, and how that historically ties into performance. And so that's the basics of kind of the grading, and I want it to be similar to like Whoop, how they measure sleep, strain, and recovery. I want the users to be able to look at their portfolio every day and see like kind of their scores and how well they're doing. Right now it's just displaying the scores, but what I'm working on, like for instance, what I'm working on right now is where you'll be able to like tap on that score and go into a page where it breaks down your like risk or intelligence, performance, whatever. And it uses AI to help explain it to you and help explain how you can improve your scores. And then there's like the research feature where I also have company rings in that, where it shows the risk, intelligence, performance of the company. And I'm planning to implement at some point a component where when you look into that company on that page, it'll show like buying another share of this stock will increase your risk by 5%, or it'll decrease your performance, increase your intelligence, whatever, so that when the user looks at that stock, they'll know what how it'll immediately affect their portfolio. And then there's also a group feature where you can make a group with a bunch of your friends and see how their portfolios are performing compared to yours. You can see their daily returns and then each of their rings. And so that's kind of the vision of the app right now. I just want it to be, I want to be the best portfolio tracker on the market. It's a saturated and competitive market, but I think the kind of Whoop style would do very well in the market. And so the purpose of this channel is to keep people updated on what I'm working on in the app. It'll also keep me accountable, but I also want to just spread the word on it and get the brand further out. Just to have like the brand recognition and for more people to learn about it. And then for me specifically, I just want to, as I'm working on the app and people are being updated on it on this channel, I want to also just show all the stuff that I learn on the way. I think it's valuable. A lot of YouTube channels are kind of an authority, but I kind of want to be a learner, and I want people to be able to watch my journey and how I learn. And I just want to share with the world, what I learn, especially running the business as a Christian, implementing biblical principles into the books. I mean, not into the books, into building the app and running the business. For example, like in Genesis, when God creates the world, he has a specific structure that he creates everything. And so, that could be something that we take away, and like when we create things, we could go through that structure. And it's not necessarily like for us to follow to be more sanctified, but if that's a perfect God's way of creating something, then how could we go wrong following that system? And so that's probably something that I can cover in the next video, is the specific system and like the steps that God uses in the first 6 days when he creates something in the 7 days of creation. And so I just want to share my journey and keep people along for the ride and spread the word about my brand and the mission. The mission is just for people that manage their own stocks to have more confidence in the markets. A lot of content these days is very shallow, especially like for the market. It's either covering the news or it's kind of covering basic stuff that you either are not going to do yourself and is already on like research platforms that you can use, or it's something that you would never just put the time in to do. And so while I want to educate on how to manage your portfolio, I want the app to kind of be a done for you platform where all the principles that I learn about and go over on this page is what I use in the app to help you optimize your portfolio. And I just want to help people prepare for retirement and feel financially secure. I feel like that's one of the biggest problems that everybody has is financial insecurity. And so I just want to do my part in helping that. And I want this channel to be very involved in the markets, but also just kind of vlog style, or taking people on my journey, and so people can stay updated, because there will be 2 or 3 weeks where I'll be updating something and people will ask me what have I been working on or whatever. And and I always have stuff that I'm working on, but that's never public. And so it might feel dry, like going 2 or 3 weeks without a new update on the App Store. And people might be wondering, did I stop working on it or whatever? And so this will kind of be like where people can stay updated on the app, updated on the features that I'm adding or working on or what I'm improving. And so, yeah, there's my rant. First video. I feel like I needed to get it out. I've been procrastinating doing it a lot. And so I kind of just feel like I needed to sit down and do it. I feel like most of these videos would probably be just like raw, very light editing, if any. And, but I feel like that feels the most authentic. People will resonate with it the most, because I am by no means comfortable on camera, and have always thought that putting myself out there would be cringe or whatever. And so, it's just getting over that initial fear of putting yourself out there, that I kind of want to get over, because I do want to increase the awareness on the company and get more people involved on the app. And I feel like there aren't very many people in the business space that are showcasing like Christian values tying into business, and I kind of want to show how they can tie in and relate to each other. I do look up to like Hermosi. I feel like they make high quality business content. I look up to Paul Daly. He's kind of I feel like the leader in tying in Christian and business principles and how they can relate to each other and how you can use them when you're running a business or just going through life. And so I kind of want to have a similar style to them, maybe be able to work with them in the future. But yeah, just kind of getting the first video out, kind of showing people what it's all about, and it'll be a place where people can stay updated on what's going on with Nuvitor and what's going on in my life. And I am literally, I'm starting this from zero. Some people start and they already have like a ton of stuff. I have made the app and I have probably 5 or 6 customers. So I'm basically starting from rock bottom, and I want this to be a place where if I'm in a position of success in the future, I want people to go back and look on like the oldest videos and just to see like the progress of everything. And like, I kind of want to be an inspiration, hopefully, for people that are thinking about starting something. If they want to start something, they can go back and see like this video and see kind of where I've come from, and hopefully that can be an encouragement to people. Other than Nuvitor, I am thinking about graduating in May. I have the option to graduate in December or May. I can graduate in December with 2 majors, or May with 1 major. And I'm kind of hoping I can graduate in May. I'm going to start working for a wealth advisor in the spring, and I'm hoping that I can start working for him full time after graduation, start working on my advisor path, which could also be something that could tie into everything with Nuvitor later. I want to start working on certifications and like the securities exams, becoming a financial advisor, getting all those certifications, in addition to everything else, and working for an advisor full time would be the path for that. I'm doing a internship in Houston this summer for private equity, and if people want to learn more about that, I can make a video in detail about that. But that's kind of where I am right now. Just student and then working part-time, summer internship, and then hopefully I'll be able to transition into full-time after the summer internship. So thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll release content as much as possible so that people can follow along and see what I'm working on. The next video, I can probably release something about kind of what I'm working on with the app right now, and then maybe when I was hinting earlier about creation, I can go in further into detail on that. I just want to document my journey as a Christian trying to run a business. If you want to download my app, it's on the App Store. It's called Nuvitor, Nuviter. And you can also follow us on Instagram or X. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can also follow me on Instagram. It's just like a personal account right now. If I get deep into this content later, I'll probably most likely start posting on it, Instagram too. But Instagram is all personal stuff, like my stories and my posts are just all like me and my friends, stuff like that. And so, yeah, just needed to get this first video out. Prove to myself that it's not as hard as I'm trying to make it seem, and kind of get over the fear of putting myself out there. So, thanks for watching.